Hello, and welcome to this instruction clip in which we will discuss how to use the FWO E-Portal as a panel member. You will use the E-Portal in different steps of the evaluation process. This instruction clip will focus on the technicalities of the E-Portal for the steps highlighted here. For each of these steps, we will explain how you can find the necessary documents on the E-Portal and where and how to submit your reports. This clip is focused on the technical steps to be taken. For an overview and discussion of the content of the evaluation procedure, we refer to our other clips with instructions on the evaluation process for fundamental research projects. Here you can see an overview of the different times you need to access the e-portal and which actions you need to perform or which documents you need to submit. First, you of course need to have registered with us to be able to access the e-portal. Secondly, you should submit your conflicts of interest and confidence rates. There is a separate instruction clip to guide you through this step of the process. Next, you will have to submit your internal evaluation reports and later your synthesis reports. Then you will prepare for the panel meeting by consulting the reports submitted by your colleagues on the panel, the external evaluation reports, and the rebuttals submitted by the applicants. Finally, after the panel meeting, you will submit the feedback reports for the applications appointed to you as rapporteur. In the following slides, we will discuss each of these steps in detail. In order to perform any task as a panel member, you should have access to the e-portal. You can gain access using your ORCID account or your email address. As a panel member, you will mainly access documents by clicking on the menu item Panel Member in the main menu on the left-hand side of your screen. On the dashboard, you can see an overview of all action items that require your attention, such as an invitation to submit conflict of interest information or to submit your internal review reports. All emails from FWO, which are also sent to your email address, will appear in the menu on the right-hand side of your screen. An important step in the evaluation procedure is preparing and submitting the internal evaluation reports for the projects which have been assigned to you by the scientific chair of your panel. You will be invited by FWO over email to evaluate the applications assigned to you after all conflict of interest documents have been submitted by the members of your panel and the scientific chair has distributed the proposals. In order to draft and submit your evaluation reports, you should access the e-portal, clicking on the panel member button, followed by the evaluation reports/feedback button in the sub-menu. Next, click on the internal evaluation reports/feedback reports tile. Select the name of your panel when prompted, and you will see a list of all applications assigned to you both in your role as internal evaluator and as rapporteur. In this first phase of the evaluation process, you should only write reports for the applications for which you are indicated as internal evaluator, and for those you will see the status invited. To access the page to draft and submit your report, click on the pencil icon for these applications. Once you click on the pencil icon, a new window will appear, which first summarizes the guidelines for the assessment of the applications. On the left-hand side of this page, you will also find a link to download the application and the score grid that you should use. When you scroll down the page, you will see the evaluation form itself. You have to use this form to submit your comments and scores to FWO. Please do not forget to save your text regularly, as the e-portal does not provide an autosave function. In fact, if at all possible, we advise you to first draft your work in an offline document and to copy-paste it to the form when you are finished writing the report. Also, please remember to press the Submit button at the bottom of the page to actually send the report to us. After all internal and external evaluation reports have been sent to the applicants, they have the opportunity to submit a rebuttal. Once the rebuttals are submitted, FWO will send you a new notification email to invite you to write and submit a synthesis report for the applications for which you are appointed as rapporteur. You should access the e-portal in the same way as you did to find the documents needed to write your internal evaluation reports. You can then access the proposals labeled as rapporteur, which will no longer have the status on hold. Again, use the pencil icon to access the actual evaluation form. The page which then appears is very similar to the one for submitting your internal evaluation reports, but this time you will additionally be able to download all the internal and external evaluation reports for this application, as well as a rebuttal. You will of course need these to write your synthesis report. Please note that it is crucial to take the rebuttal by the applicant into account when writing a synthesis report. Again, as you are working, please do not forget to save regularly and to first complete your report in an offline document if you can, and then to press the submit button at the bottom of the page to submit your report to us. To write an internal evaluation report and synthesis reports, you of course need to access, read, and assess the applications submitted by the candidates. These files can be downloaded via the e-portal as we have shown before. As a panel member, you have access to all information submitted by the applicants. Since this means that application files may at times be comprehensive or even bulky, it is important that you know how to navigate these files and how they are structured. The files contain all information that the applicants submitted in the order in which they submitted it. This is the order of the application form. To help you find your way in this wealth of information, the file begins with a table of contents, in which each item is a clickable link that will lead you to the relevant section of the file. Please note that the project description is now an attachment in the application file. Since this is a crucial element of the application, it is highlighted in blue. Please also note that to help you navigate these files in a smooth way, you can return to the table of contents from any page in the file by clicking the link in light blue. This also works should you be accessing the file in an offline setting. The next step in the evaluation process consists of preparing the panel meeting by reading, at the very least, the internal, external, and synthesis reports as well as the rebuttals for the project assigned to you. Ideally, you should have a look at these documents for all applications in your panel. In order to access these files, click on the panel member button, followed by the evaluation reports/feedback button and the tile overview of completed evaluation reports. After selecting your panel, you will see an overview of all reports, including rebuttals for each application in your panel. In preparation of the meeting, you can also access all applications submitted to your panel. These can be found under the submenu Documents in the panel member menu. After clicking Select a library, go to the project applications of your panel by clicking on the blue link. A list will appear with all applications. It is useful to know that 1. The full list can be downloaded as a zip file. 2. You can download an individual document by clicking on the blue document icon. And 3. You can also search the list by name, document type, or application number. Finally, the files can easily be reordered by clicking on the arrows as highlighted in yellow. After the panel meeting, a debriefing mail sent by your account administrator will kindly invite the rapporteur of each application to write a feedback report. These reports should take into account the internal and external evaluation reports, as well as the reactions on these reports by the applicants in the rebuttal. Finally, the feedback reports should be supplemented with the comments made during the panel meeting, reflecting in the end the panel's final assessment of the application. The form for submitting the feedback report is accessed by clicking on the menu items Panel Member and Evaluation Reports/Feedback, followed by the tile Internal Evaluation Reports/Feedback Reports. After you select your panel, you will see an overview of the applications. For all applications for which you were appointed as rapporteur, please click the link Fill in Feedback. This form starts again with the guidelines for formulating the feedback. The application and the score grid to be used can be found on the left-hand side of the screen. There is again a link to the internal and external evaluation reports and to the rebuttal. The feedback form will be pre-filled with the final scores as determined by the panel and with the synthesis report that you wrote prior to the meeting. Please do not forget to update this report, adding the consensus opinion of the panel. When the feedback report is complete, you should submit it by clicking on the Submit button. This concludes our guided tour of the technical aspects of working as an FWO expert panel member. We hope this instruction clip has brought you further insights in the technical flow to be followed in each step of our evaluation procedure and will help you throughout the process. Should you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to contact your administrative chair or your account administrator. Many thanks for your interest in the FWO, and for now, goodbye.